hands.
44.
There you go.
Percentage. Yeah. Yeah,
No,
I mean,
so
it's not direct math a lot of the time. Some of it is no, like multiply outs by 4, to get your percentage a lot of time.
If the pot's $1,400,
yeah.
if the pot's $1,400 and your opponent bets $200, what's your price?
Right.
You're getting 8-1. It's like it's not.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and a lot
I
of
will
it
say
is
though,
like
Jeff is going to be screwed if it ever comes down to 73 times 47.
Yeah,
and you see Jeff taking a minute and a half to think about it. That's why.
Yeah. And then he says, "Are you a feel player like Ivy?" And like some players like seem like they're feel players, but it doesn't mean that they're just kind of like taking shots in the dark. It's like the better you get, you've seen so many situations that you just know the pot, you see the bet, you know your hand and your outs. You just already know that it's better to call or raise or fold. It's not even about like the straight math.
I kind of laughed at like Phil Hellmuth, and I think we all always laugh at Phil Hellmuth because that's what he's there for. Mm-hmm. And I say that with respect. I do like Phil. But when he was talking on the World Series, when he was talking about the quote unquote math guys, the math guys would say this, like, and I actually heard people on the internet like, who the fuck are these math guys?
I saw that tweet. I know.
Like, who are these math guys?
It's such like a dumb general term now.
It is and it's the same reason. It's the same, and no disrespect, the feel players.
Yeah.
Good poker players are really good at math and really good at feel.
Yeah.
They're both. They understand the whole thing.
I know when Helmut's saying math guys, he just means like the new good players that are like aggressive. It almost just means aggressive now because it's like 3-betting and 4-betting small. But
it's the guys who are like the guys who like mastered the sit and goes where it's like, oh, this is optimal.
Right.
You know exactly what the shove charts and stuff like that.
A little more robotic. But yeah, even that isn't necessarily like math. That's just like, oh, I have ace jack in middle position, so it's like a shove here.
It's unexploitable.
But you can like look at the math in the sense of like the odds of people getting hands behind you and calling. But it's more like, it's more statistical math. It's not like direct. Exactly. It's more like.
And then you still have to adjust it too, because it's still a matter of going, I know it's unexploitable for me to shove my ace jack in this particular spot, but.
Yeah,
But then I've got to start factoring in, okay, who's in the big blind or who's in the small blind, and how often is he going to call with this, or can I get called by worse, and so forth and so on.
Sometimes your turn, like even the situation of the tournament, or, there's different factors. But I think the most direct math that's necessary is just like kind of knowing the percentages of how hands do against each other pre-flop, and then knowing like what odds you need to get like. Because of that, like pre-flop, someone's all in, you're getting 2-1. Like the range of hands you should call with, like that's kind of math stuff, and that's just knowing like hand ranges and like I have ace-5 suited. I don't have the best hand here, but I'm getting like 2-1, and as long as I'm getting like 30-something%, which ace-5 is, getting against most hands, then I should call.
So. Karen bets 48, and Alonso moves all in with the straight. And now she can only shake her head, and she hits the queen. Boom! Boom!
That was a big pot.
And she shakes her head, and it's just one of those things. I mean, sometimes, like chess, I kind of look at poker where it's like, have an idea, and have an idea when you bet what you might do if your opponent does something you don't want them to do.
Yeah.
And in that particular case, it would be like, well, if your opponent has an 8 or a king and he shoves, you're not going to like it.
Right.
Nonetheless, though, she gets it in, she doubles up, and Alonso spikes his straight on the turn, but the resec out from Karen, and now she's up to 455.
Yeah, she's
boom,
big stack, boom. Yeah, a lot of people, they'll make an action and not know what to do, like when they get raised, or you'll see a lot of players do this in a spot like on a certain street where they should just pot control and like check one street, and instead they like bet, and then they get raised, and then they force themselves to fold. And that's like a newer player. They don't understand the street, like certain streets. Yeah, you have a good hand, but it's like a spot where you'd rather wait till the river to get value, or maybe even induce a bluff by checking. Karen has heaps now.
Heaps, yeah. The kids say that these days, right? Heaps.
I love all the expressions. It's just fun.
Heaps.
I like the whole, like sometimes it can be annoying, but I like just